Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. So Magical Muskets or Magical Musketeers for Master Duel. It's a deck that I like Magical Muskets. It's a very straightforward deck, somewhat of an anti-meta deck. It mains spell and trap destruction, like as you know, like Master Duel. The format is so diverse, and I think that definitely helps out this deck. The power card of the deck is of course their Link 1 max, again depending on how many spells or traps your opponent has, how many back row or how many monsters your opponent controls. You can like search like Spellbook of Judgment or like Magical Musket spell and traps from the deck, or you know, depending on how many spells and traps your opponent has, you can special summon monsters directly from the deck to your side of the field. So that's fantastic. Like their Link 1 is actually one of the most broken links here in the game. The thing though is that it's a broken link, but it's for Magical Musketeers, and you know, Muskets do have a lot of weaknesses. And here, something that you should always do is something small. Is that the first time you get like one Magical Musket on the field, here in this case it was I believe Starfire, the level 4, make sure that it's always in the middle column, at least in the, you know, the third row, right? Because your opponent will always activate it without realizing that they will trigger with their own spells and traps your Magical Musket monsters. So something small, right? But anyway, so drop max, your opponent controls, what is it, 2 monsters, right? So I can, you know, search 2, at least up to 2, I think, that Magical Musketeer max states. But that's fantastic. The thing is that you definitely can go first, but going second is definitely not a problem either. The deck mains like a Forbidden Chalice, like, you know, being... what is it called? Cross Dominator, the spell that, you know, puts or negates an opponent's monster effect. They have their own counter trap being Last Stand. That was the name I was looking for, which is again that Omni negation, you know, negates either spell or trap from your opponent. And the thing is that what I was about to say in the beginning is that Magical Musketeers, the reason why I went for this particular deck is that it's kind of cheap. If you take a look at the, you know, specific secret pack you have to craft or you have to buy, I think I spent 4,000 gems to get the deck, you know, free gems. To get the deck, the only expensive card I guess is their Link 1 max. I was lucky, and I pulled 2 at the same time in the 4th pack, so it's fine. But I believe the big advantage of that secret pack is that it's the same secret pack as Burning Abyss, so I think all ultra rares from that set are fantastic. Like you have obviously Max here, the Magical Musketeer Link 1, you have Beatrice, which is an ultra in the same pack, Dante is an ultra, and Cherubini their Link 2. So those are fantastic ultra rare pulls, so I think it's well worth it for that specific pack. If you really don't, or you know, you might want to pick up Burning Abyss as well. So 2 decks basically at the price of 1. But if, you know, if not, you can just craft them away, right? That's what I did eventually to get, you know, the cards that I needed. Another option, and that's the second expensive card, I guess, for the deck, and that's, I feel, small downside, is Ties of the Brethren. It's currently here in the deck listed 2 of, same for Max, but obviously if you have more Max or more Ties, definitely, you know, put them in. But the problem with Ties is that it, like, pure competitively speaking, it's not finding its way into, you know, like Magical Musketeer builds because it might be a bit too inconsistent, but it just, like, if you're going first, for example, you use Ties, it gives your deck so much advantage. Then again, it's an ultra rare, so I did craft 2, so that's 60 ultra rare craft points, card points, so that's really expensive. Anyway, so the game here, the problem here is that as something that Magical Muskets always had in the past, is that here in this case, if I'm not mistaken, the Magnate Crusadia, their Link 4, I believe it's like, you know, the Masquerina was used for its Link summon, so now I can't target it with card effects. What is it? It cannot be destroyed by card effects due to Masquerina, so it's basically unaffected by most card effects, and all Musket card spells and traps they do target, if I'm not mistaken. The pop card, you know, and their spell. So I think my only out here is Zeus, again, and that's why Zeus is there. I specifically crafted Zeus for this particular deck. I still didn't need it for the decks in the past, but again, it's a blowout card, and yep, here, that's why it's there. My opponent even set one extra back row, plus went for the Red Eyes Fusion, and, you know, revealing the, whatchamacallit, the Red Eyes, the level 1, you know, try to equip it, and that's my game. I can just normal summon Doc and, you know, get my advantage back. I was thinking of, or about, Upstart Goblin, and very similar to Pot of Prosperity, you're kind of increasing your, I guess, consistency a bit more with Prosperity other than Upstart. But the thing is that Upstart, it's basically a free plus for, let's say, if you have a Gaspar or Starfire on your side of the field. You know, special summon something from the deck, or Gaspar searches something from the deck. And Upstart, it's basically a free +1. But again, major problem is that Master Duel decided to make Upstart an ultra rare. So for now, I don't have any Upstarts, but it's one of those cards that next to Chicken Game, because of Monarchs, like triple Upstart, triple Chicken Game, it's something that I maybe want to build in the future, but the things are just so expensive. So I kind of prefer other cards for now. Duster is definitely a card you always want to put in, because of, you know, all the anti-meta decks here on the ladder. Currently Platinum 4, I think, on Master Duel, you know, doing my dailies, nothing more, nothing less. There is, you know, no rush to get yourself to Platinum 1. This was a long duel, a grindy duel, and I believe in an okay duel, so that's why, you know, I kept it in the replays here. So against Invoked, Shaddoll, Dogmatica, you know, probably one of the best fusion decks for whatever it is, whenever is Konami, you know, announcing the Fusion Festival, something like Shaddolls featuring Invoked, it's definitely going to be, if not the most popular deck choice for then. But as Konami did, like previously, if I'm not mistaken, they banned most of the Dogmatica cards, no? Anyway, so this field is not that threatening. I was like, well, Winda could be a problem, but the thing is that my opponent controlling like 4 months, five? Well, I'm going to destroy the Ecclesia thanks to my trap cards. Desperado pops one face-up card from your opponent, so now the Fleur will not negate my Starfire, and again Starfire triggers, and that's the most important one. Go for Gaspar. You want to get Gaspar out as soon as possible, especially with the interaction with Doc. Again, Doc refuels or gets something back from the graveyard, while Gaspar searches something from the deck. So here, again, one of the most broken links, drop max, and my opponent controls 4 monsters, so you can add, I believe, up to 4 different spells and traps, you know, magical musket spells and traps from your deck. I think I already used up Gaspar, so I'm just going to pass, and that's, I feel, still the somewhat of a weakness of magical muskets, is that, okay, they all are, you know, those small monsters, but it's somewhat of a passive deck as well. If your opponent plays like a really fast deck, like how do I say it, like a lot of big beat sticks like you see here now, you're kinda fast through your resources. Here in this case, using Last Stand to negate the Invocation field spell, Magical Meltdown, you know, not want Alistair to hit the board, and there is the Desperado to pop something face up and already burn through another Ash Blossom. Again, I don't want my opponent to search like another Shaddoll Fusion or else Shaddoll Fusion, and here, this is something I probably did not expect. Celine hitting the field, and I was like, ooh, Appaloosa is going to hit the board, but nope, no Appaloosa, so that's fine though. Ecclesia hits the field, so that's all cool. So now again, my opponent is blocked from using the extra deck, if I'm not mistaken. No, oh no, that's with, whatchamacallit, the trap card. Yeah, this one. And the Cyclone was a fantastic top deck, that's why it's there. You know, hit stuff like, here in this case, Shaddoll Schism. Again, fantastic. So get rid of it, plus use Last Stand to, you know, get rid of or negate the other card from the opponent. So that's fine though. Again, my opponent still has, what is it, 3-4 monsters. So again, get another free 4 searches. But I'm still somewhat behind, because most magical muskets are really low, right? plus Hedgehog being flipped, I was like, okay, that's fine. I do need to negate the Shaddoll Fusion, obviously, so again, I still have the potential search with Gaspar here, which is probably going to be already used. Last stand, Cross Domination is there, Dancing Needle, and that's something I definitely like as well about the archetype, is that, as you saw in one of the previous videos, or might have seen in one of the previous videos, that the archetype has a built-in Super DD Crow. I believe the card is called Dancing Needles. Banish up to 3 from your opponent's graveyard, so that's superb against most decks that rely on their graveyard. But again, now you see that if your opponent keeps the pressure going, big monsters, then it's very hard for this deck to, you know, keep you in a duel, and I'm already running very low on resources, so drop to 900 life points. I think I searched Doc, right? Yeah. Here the aerial banish effect, that's fine, it's all cool. The Call by the Grave is definitely a nice top deck because this triggers a Doc, but again, Doc has already been used during this particular turn, and I was like, okay, I'm still in a duel, no worries. Use Cross Domination to drop Phoenix to 0 attack, use Doc to get back Desperado, and you know, I have a couple of top decks ready, but another 3 was definitely a very solid play. And I was like, what are the attributes of the magical musket monsters? Ah no, the Schism was banished, right? So, you know, Schism, etc. But long story short, I'm eventually, you know, forcing out a Falco. Well, forcing out, it has already been used during the turn. And then go for big boy Zeus again. Even though I'm super low on life points, I'm kind of forced to use Zeus. And still, I think I have another potential Zeus use. So the regular Shaddoll Fusion, that's fine, that's basically 3 pluses. And here, this for me should have been a big tell that my opponent probably did not have another construct. Probably. Because that's obviously a big problem. Construct, you know, just dumps on Zeus, unless, you know, it forces out Zeus effect. And here I think I have to burn through another Zeus effect because of Incarnation flipping over the face down set. Not sure if you know which one that is. So now Zeus cannot activate, it's a big beat stick, and here, a small mistake on my part. I probably just should have attacked first, go for the damage, and then use Prosperity, because again, damage is halved. Couple of options, but eventually went for whatchamacallit, Call by the Grave to banish something from my opponent's graveyard, and here, again, no construct, but Wind Knights the field, and I make the safe guess, I banish construct just in case, because I think we know there is a regular Shaddoll Fusion or else Shaddoll Fusion there, but he top decks Invocation, and there was an Alistair in the graveyard, and I was like, maybe I should banish the Alistair instead of the Call by the Grave, because of the potential Invocation top deck, but I went for Construct. So because of this I lose, and that was it's a terrible feeling, because I feel that if I banished Alistair, unless I'm missing something, I could have won. Unless, of course, there were more constructs in the extra deck, right? So, it is what it is. So this is the current deck list. Something that I might want to change are the droplets, adding in droplets, especially in Platinum against, you know, Dark Rule, against, rank 9, True King of All Calamities or something like that, or Herald. You definitely want stuff like droplets in your main deck. But for now, it's a super fun deck, it's a super cheap deck as well, only Max being an ultra rare, but it's definitely something to try out. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Leakum signing out. Peace.